like, because now that I think about it, I really do feel like I took a break from watching Nigerian movies. I don't think, even during secondary school, I don't think I was watching Nigerian movies like that.
I wasn't watching Nigerian movies.
I was watching,
but then again, I was only really ever watching Nigerian movies, what's it called, in Nigeria, or because someone would pop it up on the TV.
yeah. But that's the thing.
I was never finding it myself.
Yeah, and I feel like during secondary school, because like, okay, people were a bit grown somewhat, and them times nobody really wanted to be Nigerian like that. So everybody's trying to escape Nigeria.
We were watching Korean movies.
Exactly.
Like, wow, that's how bad it was. We were watching Korean movies. We weren't even speaking English. We were looking at the subtitles. That's
exactly. Like, everybody was always trying to escape Nigeria. It was everybody tried to listen to Drake, listen to US rap, or like you said, watch Korean movies. Well, then times Indian series.
Yeah. You see how we found even when we went to India
stuff. Like, we're literally the only thing that we used to engage with Nigerian wise was Afrobeats, and that's like Afrobeats.
That's where it started the rise. But like even before that,
like, you go to session night, and like them times I used to be eager. I'm like, oh yes, Nigeria. I'm gonna get the Nigerian vibe when I come to secondary school. This is my first time being in Nigeria consistently. And you're there, and it's like, fam, everybody's so intrigued. Like, oh my gosh, you're from the UK. Well, how do people talk in the UK? They want to know everything about everywhere else but Nigeria.
But you know what? Even sticking on that topic, that whole Afrobeat. I don't think people like giving enough credit to like the people who like
pioneers.
Not the pioneers, but even the people out there at the early stage, like
P Square.
I'm not even thinking that P Square is that, to me, is they're even their own genre. Something like P Square. I think P Square. People like P Square. I was able to see that. Oh, we can be out, even though they weren't even like outside of Nigeria, but they just gave me that vision out just from their production, their music videos. It made me think like, oh wow, we can be more than just in Nigeria and stuff. That's what they gave me. But when I think of people like, but I don't think of them as Afrobeats. I do think of them as pioneers for like Nigerian music. But I don't think of them as Afrobeats. But when I think of Afrobeats, or like people who just start even before we even knew what it was, but we had this new sound. I think of people like, what's it called, Ice Prince. I don't feel like people give that guy even, what's it called, not techno, what's it called,
Kcee.
Yeah, Kcee. Even though I just think of them, they were there at the early stage. I'm just like, I don't think we like actually gave them their props.
Was then Wizkid not before Kcee?
Huh? Was he?
I think so. In my head, they were. I think Kcee came afterwards a bit. I'm not gonna lie, but maybe he was making waves, but he had not hit the mainstream stuff yet. But I do think these were hit mainstream before him. But yeah, I do hear you.
Yeah, like especially Ice Prince. I'm just like, I don't think even what's his name? Guy that has Cole and then One Day Cole. I just saw, like, I was on Instagram recently. I just saw clips of his songs. Like, oh my gosh! But I realized how many songs he sang I knew.
He has hits.
I was like, oh my gosh, this is all from this guy.
One Day Cole has hits.
This guy.
He has hits.
Bruh, I was just really deep. I was like, oh my god, I know like a majority of these songs you're playing. I didn't even know it came from him.
I think One Day Cole is undeniable. I don't think One Day Cole does get respect. May not be as much as he deserves, but I do think people do recognize him as a music genius.
And then when I realized he was also in what's it called, Don Daji's label. Yeah, I was like, oh wow, I really missed a lot.
Lol. No.
This is me thinking like T-Boy was like the first site. I used to think that T was like the first artist for that thing. When I realized, like, no,
I think he already had Mavens.
Yeah, because he had what's his name, D'banj on it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, bruh.
But like, I think like when the T.Y. came into the mix, that's when it really became a.
Oh yeah, when we start seeing the symbol.
Yeah, that's when it really became. It really started holding weight.
Okay, his single, the one that we named from that became Limpopo came 2013. Yeah, so you're right. Whiskey came before him.
Yeah, I do feel like Whiskey came before him, but still, regardless, like, these people definitely paved the way for Afrobeats to where it's at today. You go to that question, so shout out to them because, you lot. I do feel like now that I think about it, Afrobeats probably has played a big part in Nigerians growing in their pride for their country.
Oh, definitely.
I do think about it because honestly, it's only now that we've had this conversation that I remember. Yeah, like secondary school, people are not looking for Nigerian stuff. Like I don't remember watching Nigerian movies in Nigeria when I was in secondary school, and it's probably because of this kind of mentality. Like nobody wants us to be here. Nobody wants us to be Nigerian. But now it's like when everybody is at least giving us our accolades when it comes to music, media, things like that, you're reminded that, you know what, this is something to be proud of. We have room to improve, but our heritage is something to be proud of. So shout out to arts in general for really doing their thing for Nigeria.